To reach Geo, you and I are gonna have to work together.
We need to discuss your payment.
My job already done?
Do you think I'm leading Rick on?
If anyone can irritate that woman, it's you.
You lying liar. What's your answer gonna be?
General Hospital latest update. Carly senses danger as Sidwell sets off alarm bells. Sasha stuns Felicia with a life-changing request. Jason opens up to Dante, revealing painful truths. Ava uncovers Rick's lies, while Sonny warns Laura that violence is inevitable. Relationships crack, secrets unravel, and the storm is just beginning. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital. Carly's Sidwell alarm bells, Sasha's special request, Jason spills truth. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, June 26th, reveal that Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, will urge Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, to figure out where things stand. It seems Lulu will think Lucas needs to know just how tight Marco Rios, Adrian Anchondo, and Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota, are. Marco isn't as shady as his father, but he's certainly getting pulled into Sidwell's world and could get tangled up in more drama if he's not careful. For now, Marco will get updates on Natalia Ramirez's, Eva LaRue, plan to start a new life far away from Port Charles. Although Marco will ask how exactly Natalia arranged this new life, he'll inevitably know Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, is the one behind it. Of course, Marco may argue it's not too late to bail on Sonny's offer and accept the legal deal he's arranged for Natalia instead. Could Marco change Natalia's mind about leaving for Belize and never contacting her loved ones again? As for Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, she'll have a discussion with Sonny that leaves her unsettled. Sonny may give Carly the latest Sidwell news and admit a storm could be brewing now that he's rejected his rival's pitch for the Piers. Carly will definitely hear some Sidwell alarm bells go off thanks to this conversation. Since Sidwell could be a real threat to their family, Carly will have plenty of questions and concerns for Sonny to address. In the meantime, Sidwell will deliver a warning to Ezra Boyle, Daniel Cosgrove, who'll need to smile and say thank you, no matter what path Sidwell pushes him down. Anything else won't end well for the councilman. Next, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, will share some heartfelt scenes with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, as they discuss fatherhood. Dante will admit he previously thought Jason let Danny Morgan, Asher Antonazan, run wild because he couldn't be bothered to parent. Now Dante may acknowledge that Jason's been doing the best he can to navigate things following Sam McCall's, Kelly Monaco, sudden demise. Jason will give Dante a new point of view on Thursday's General Hospital episode, so maybe he could help Dante as he holds out hope for a relationship with Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza. At some point, Brooke Lynn will stumble across a sight she didn't want to see. Could that involve a bonding moment between Lulu and Gio since they've been connecting lately? Other General Hospital spoilers say Sasha will have a special request for Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner. Felicia will make a wrong guess about what Sasha needs, so Sasha will insist what she has in mind is much more important. There's a good chance Sasha will ask Felicia to be Daisy's, Levi Clark Coughlin, godmother, so Felicia should happily accept as they both get ready for the upcoming christening ceremony. Today's next update, Ava learns Rick's lied to her, and Sonny warns Laura that violence is coming to Port Charles. Today on General Hospital, Rocco and Danny start working at the pool, Alexis talks with Liz about Christina and the accident, and Brooke Lynn and Dante agree to work together to help Gio. At the Metro Court pool, Gio shows Rocco and Danny around as it's their first day as attendants. Gio puts them to work, and Lulu happens to be there as a guest. Rocco walks over and can't believe his mom showed up at his workplace and on his first day. Meanwhile, Danny talks to Gio about how embarrassed Rocco is, though if his mom were here, she'd be doing the same. Gio says his would as well. Lulu checks in with Gio and asks how the boys are doing. He says it's their first day and they'll get the hang of it. She asks how he's doing. Gio says he's fine. Brooke Lynn and Dante work together. At the Quartermain mansion, Marco provides Brooke Lynn with Rocco's original birth certificate as Ben Westbourne. He also gives her the one updated 6 months later, reflecting Lulu and Dante as his parents. Marco takes off when Dante shows up. Dante assumes Chase told her what Anna did to them. Brooke Lynn says he did, and tells him not to hold anything against Chase, as he was just protecting her. She asks if he's here to yell at her again. He's not. Dante doesn't know what comes next, but to reach Gio, they have to work together. Dante isn't ready to forgive her or Chase, but at least she had a good relationship with Gio before all this. Now, thanks to coming down hard on him for what happened to Rocco, Gio doesn't trust him. Brooke Lynn notes they are in the same boat. She thinks if they give Gio time, he'll come around to having a relationship with them. Dante feels they need to do something. She says he's a 22-year-old kid, so they can't force him to have a relationship with them. But between them and her grandmother, they'll get him to come around. He agrees to be patient, though he hates it. In the sunroom, Cody finds Tracy laughing while watching a clip of Martin falling on his face. Tracy thanks Cody for what he did today and says they need to discuss his payment. Cody says he doesn't want her money. He says he was happy to knock Drew down a notch. She's a great boss, and he loves this job. He doesn't take money for doing a favor for a friend. Tracy thanks Cody. Tracy goes to the pool. Later, Tracy arrives at the pool and tells Lulu they have one at the house she can use, so she doesn't have to sunbathe with the public. Lulu says their pool doesn't employ Rocco. Tracy finds it cute that she's spying on her son. They also talk about Gio, who is getting along with Rocco. Tracy just hopes he gets over his anger toward Brooke Lynn soon. The boys finish their shift and ask Gio if they can go for a swim. He says they can't, they are employees and to go swim at the QS. Tracy whistles at the boys and says she'll give them a ride home. Christina tells Alexis that Elizabeth knows all. Christina drops by her mom's office to talk about Liz and the accident. She says Lucky told her everything. She notes Liz could turn her in, but she won't. Alexis asks why she's keeping quiet, aside from Lucky being charged as an accessory. Christina says she knows it would hurt her and Molly. Alexis says now that Liz is taken care of, Christina must give up this scheme of hers regarding Rick, Ava, Cody and Liz. Alexis tells Christina that Liz has a soft heart, and she could take Rick back because of her scheme. Alexis thinks they should tell Liz about the blackmail, but Christina fears Liz would only tell Rick right before kicking him out of her life. Christina insists they can't tell anyone. Later, Cody meets with Christina in the office. She tells him that the next time he meets with Ava, he needs to drop the news that Lucky left the country. She suspects Ava doesn't know, and she'll be upset that Rick didn't tell her, knowing Rick has a thing for Liz. Cody says if Rick is already into Liz, isn't his job done? Christina says Liz likely will never give Rick another chance, but Ava won't settle for being the consolation prize. She tells Cody he needs to simply make Ava realize she has better options than Rick. Ava gets wise to Rick. Laura talks with Ava at the gallery, and Ava invites her and Kevin to the new Joel Sartori exhibit opening soon. Laura has such a full calendar and hopes Ava wouldn't mind if she passed the tickets on to Liz, who loves art. Ava smiles and says Liz is always welcome. Laura spots Ava drinking berry juice and thinks everyone is drinking it nowadays. Ava explains that Rick got her hooked on it. Laura jokes he must be getting commission, as he was drinking it with Liz at her house the other day. Ava notes Rick has been very busy lately with cases, and Laura assumes his schedule will clear up now that the Corinthos case is over. Laura then excuses herself to take a call from Elizabeth. Laura takes off, and Ava calls Rick's secretary to find out about the day Rick went to Beecher's Corner for a case, claiming he misplaced his watch. Ava soon realizes Rick never went to Beecher's Corner and lied to her. Cody arrives later to work his magic with Ava. Ava takes a call from someone and asks where they are, as she's had them booked for months. It turns out the man who hangs the art for her exhibit has an emergency and can't come. Cody says he is pretty good with a hammer and nails. Rick meets with a client. At the hospital, Rick shows up, says hello to Liz, and she explains that she doesn't have time for him today. He says he's here to see a client. Lucas examines Martin, who is in extreme pain, and blames Tracy for his back injury. Lucas steps out and talks to Liz about Martin. Liz tells him Rick is here to see him, and she jumped to the conclusion that Rick came to see her. Lucas points out Rick has stopped by to see her daily since Lucky left. Liz asks if he thinks she's leading Rick on. Lucas thought Rick was seeing Ava, so what's Liz's issue? Liz admits she has fond memories of Rick, but hasn't forgotten what he did, and she's not going back there. Lucas brings up Brad and understands her situation. With Brad, he had to decide when enough was enough. Rick meets with Martin in his room, and Martin wants to sue the pants off Tracy. Rick tells him he really doesn't have a case, as he lunged at Tracy when he fell, but he'll do his best. Rick will need a retainer of $15,000. Martin doesn't have that money, so Rick suggests he focus on getting his back taken care of. Liz runs into Rick in the halls and apologizes for assuming he was there to see her. He offers to take her out for a drink, but she thought he'd have plans with Ava. Rick says Ava's busy with a big gallery show. Alexis thanks Liz. Alexis shows up later to meet with Liz. They go to a private room, and Alexis thanks Liz for not going to the police about Christina, and to know that she doesn't take what her daughter did lightly. She spent her life pursuing justice, and now she's protecting her daughter from going to prison, which is what she deserves. Liz knows Christina has been going through a lot with losing the baby and Sam, and if anyone can make someone snap, it's Ava. Alexis believes Christina understands the severity of what she's done. Liz does too, which is one of the reasons she agreed to stay silent. Meanwhile, Laura arrives at the hospital to see her brother. Elizabeth called her and told her that he had been admitted. She asks what happened, and he says he experienced a fall and will have to stay at least the night. Laura offers to get him an overnight bag, so text her a list of what he needs. She takes off, and Martin fumes that Tracy will pay for this. Marco calls Lucas and asks if he could meet at the pool after his shift to get a drink and watch the sunset. Lucas would love to. Lucas thinks he sounds lighter, so his mom's trouble must be over. Marco says it looks like they soon will be. Marco asks Lucas if he worked at the hospital when Britt Westbourne was the chief of staff. Lucas confirms that he worked with Britt. Marco explains her name came up in one of his cases. They return to making plans for their sunset date, and Lucas teases that who knows where the night might lead them. Sonny makes arrangements for Natalia. At his place, Sonny asks Natalia what her answer is, as they are running out of time. Natalia knows and gives him a key to the safe deposit box with all the evidence in it. She says her life is in his hands. Sonny says he knows Marco is making a deal with Turner, but if she suspects Natalia might run, she could have her arrested. Natalia knows she'd be giving up her entire life and family with this move, but would they still stay in touch? Sonny says they would, and he'd owe her a debt. Sonny lists all the little things she's done for him, so he will make sure she's taken care of. She thanks him and is excited about this opportunity for a new life. Sonny tells her that loyalty means everything to him and he won't abandon her. Sonny makes the arrangements for her to depart on Friday. That is when Turner will be expecting to meet with her. Natalia says she'll be ready, and she is so sorry she never told him about Jens. No matter how charming he tries to be, she says Sidwell is a dangerous man. Sonny knows. She says Marco isn't like his father, and he's not a criminal, so remember that. Sonny says he has no problem as long as Marco is just Sidwell's lawyer. In the show's final moments, Ava tells Cody that hanging art is harder than it seems, and she couldn't ask him to do that. Cody says he's offering. He says the place he grew up, Serenity, had a ton of art, which he wasn't allowed near. If he got too close, the housekeeper would slap him. He says those days are gone, and he's not much of a fighter himself anymore. He says the last person he got into a fight with was Lucky, but now he's left the country. At the hospital, Liz sees Alexis to the elevators and tells her they all should move on. Liz says she has, and so has Rick. She says this was a wake-up call for her and Rick seems lighter and happier now. Liz thanks Alexis for the talk, but Alexis stops her and appears as if she wants to tell her something. Rick spies on them from around the corner. Natalia stops by Marco's office, not as a client, but as his mother. Dante stops by the pool, and Lulu tells him that Rocco's shift is over. Dante guesses they had the same idea. Dante spots Gio and asks if they can talk for a minute. Also at the pool, Lucas waits for Marco and hangs out with Christina until he arrives. Behind a desk at the Q estate, Brooke Lynn looks over the birth certificates when Rocco and Danny show up. They apologize for busting in and ask if she's working. She says she is. Rocco seems to shoot daggers at her with his eyes. At the hospital, Deanna tells Martin there is a problem. His insurance lapsed, and he's no longer covered. Sonny has Laura over and tells her that he's not selling his peers to Sidwell. Laura is relieved, as Sidwell is an evil man. Sonny says Sidwell acts like a legitimate businessman, but he sees how he operates. He won't start anything with the guy, but violence is coming to Port Charles, and they have to figure out a way to stop it. On the next General Hospital, Lulu suggests to Lucas that it would be good to know how tight they are. Sasha asks Felicia for something important. Marco asks his mom how she arranged for said new life. Sidwell tells Ezra, "You will smile and say thank you." Carly warns Sonny this guy could be a real threat to their family. Dante tells Jason that he thought he let Danny run wild because he couldn't be bothered to parent him. Thanks for watching, General Hospital fans. If you're loving the drama in Port Charles, smash that like button, drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. More explosive updates are coming soon.